You got Kyle Gibson as your starter for opening day. That was announced yesterday. What's the reason? What's your love for what Kyle Gibson's doing right now?
No, it's just honestly, he's done so much for our ball club the last couple of years. He's one of probably our main leader, honestly, in the clubhouse. He's an older guy, but just the things that he did last year. And I think the commitment to improving and getting better, he's a much better version of himself. We put together a whole plan for him in the offseason. He followed suit, and, he's in great shape right now. His stuff looks as good as it's ever been. Obviously, he's a number one type stuff right now, the way he's throwing the ball. And honestly, what he's done for the ball club as well. So it was an easy decision, honestly. He was pretty excited because he's never started opening day. So that's 3 years in a row I get to hand the ball to somebody that had never done it, which is pretty cool.
Woody, when it comes to starting pitchers, this is just all around all of Major League Baseball. It seems like a lot of coaches and general managers are worried about, as this season progresses, how the arms will hold up after only having a 60-game season last year. How much have you talked to John Daniels or Chris Young about how you're going to handle your pitching staff to try to keep them as healthy as possible?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the one thing we've talked about more than anything. We've had, countless hours of just dialogue and, collaboration and trying to figure out not only the best plan moving forward for each guy individually, but as a staff, how we're going to do it. So that's kind of the reason, obviously, we put together the tandem type starter set up, because we cannot afford to. We don't want to have any setbacks. And listen, that's part of the game. Somebody's probably going to get hurt at some point, but the best we can do to kind of prevent that will be in our best interest as we move forward.
Is it still like the dream scenario is to be able to say, we can throw a guy out there for 6 or 7 innings, and that's going to be, or hey, 9 innings. What if that never happened? But is that still the dream scenario? But that's just not probably going to be the case this year.
We have a few guys. Obviously, with Gibby, we don't really have any restrictions with him. I think Arahara has pitched a lot in Japan. So I mean, there are a few guys, and Pulte has been that in the past. Jordan Lyles has been that in the past. So we have some guys that, obviously if they pitch well, we can let them go. But I think in the beginning, we're still going to be careful. We still got to, monitor how many innings they're throwing, how many pitches. Especially our younger guys, we're just not going to do that. It doesn't make any sense. This is more about, obviously getting through this year healthy, building some confidence, making sure they're in a position to succeed. And then we go from there. I think, with our younger guys, we look at June, July. If things are going well and their innings are decent amount, maybe we can let them go at that point, because they're not going to go too far after that. But I don't know. It's one of those things we got to keep monitoring, and we got to take the health as a priority this year, obviously, of our pitchers.
So, Woody, I'm going to give you my opinion here, and then I just want your opinion on this guy. I think at the end of the year, Dane Dunning is going to establish himself as your best pitcher in your staff. I like what I see from watching him pitch just a little bit last year with the Chicago White Sox. Can you give me your assessment on Dane Dunning and what he has showed you so far in spring training?
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't disagree with that, honestly. Everything that we've kind of known about the kid and got to meet him, got to talk to him. This kid loves talking pitching. He loves to improve. He loves to get better. His stuff is good. We were really impressed. Obviously, that's why we felt the need to get him. Just his willingness to kind of open his mind and say, okay, I got to add this. I got to add a little more depth to this pitch. And, we're not tinkering too much, but at the same time, he's just all about improving. But the thing that stands out to me is, you watch him throw a bullpen. It's impressive. He's good. He's talking through it. He's open dialogue about it all. But I think when he steps between the lines, that's where he separates himself. Because it was, even in his bullpen session, Doug Mapp is standing behind him. He said, all right, we got a hitter in there now. And it was like, the antennas went up, everything just kind of changed, and he's dotting pitches, both sides of the plate with all his pitches, and just the sharpness of the pitch comes out. You see it when he gets out there with hitters. He's just a different guy, and in the age of lab rats, a lot of pitchers, they're in the lab, they're hitting 98, 97, but then they get on a real mound and they're 93, 94. He actually improves when he steps between the lines, and I think that's the thing that's the separator for me.
So, Woody, a long, long time ago, unfortunately, I was the just-in-case guy that went on a lot of road trips in spring training. Just in case a guy has a bad inning, just in case somebody gets hurt, you could possibly pitch. It seems like this year, obviously, you can call the inning if you want to call the inning. I know that's a little bit different. And then you can say, hey, we just want to play 6 innings today or 7 innings. Can you talk about the positives and negatives? And do you even have to bring just in cases on the road?
Yeah, now starting on the 14th, we're not allowed to do that anymore. So it's
Okay.
now we can't roll innings, and we have to we can agree to play up to 7, but no less than that now. But it honestly, the first 2 weeks it really helped. I hated rolling innings and I hated doing that, but if we don't have those jicks as you call them, we're not going to extend a guy's outing to 35 pitches in his first outing or his second outing. You talk about risking health. So it was really nice to be able to do that. And honestly, from the starting standpoint, we can actually re-enter starters. So if a guy goes out and throws, 25 pitches, 30 pitches, and can't get out of that first inning for no maybe fault of his own, maybe he has a few errors behind him or something of that nature, we can actually take him out of the game at that point and then bring him back in. So those are things that I've been, pressing MLB on hard. And it does. It takes the help. That's spring training is all about, is getting our guys ready. Obviously, there's competition, but getting our pitchers healthy and ready to start, the season is the main priority. And for some reason in the past, we weren't able to do those things, but it was nice this year to be able to do that.